some of these newer games, they're just, I don't know. There's too much meta going on. There's way too much meta going on. You can't balance that. You can't balance all that. There's like a guy using tools in conjunction with weapons that Jake and I hadn't seen yet. And maybe that's cool, but for me,
the
it's
gravity
gay.
well. Remember seeing that? And I was like, oh, shoot, somebody brought that to the party?
Right.
Are you for real right now?
One guy using the junk, what's his name? Junk? I played it so much for Overwatch.
From Overwatch.
Right.
Is it Junk Hog? Road Dog?
Road
Dog?
It's a Road Dog, dude.
What's his name? Roadhead?
It's Roadhog. It's Roadhog. It's Roadhog.
Hello and welcome to Grass Touchers, episode 50. The show where the three of us pals celebrate making 50 episodes together by talking about video games and how little time we have for them, but how much we love them anyway. I am Jake.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Greg.
I'm so stoked. I can't believe it. First off, I just want to say thanks for those of you that have been hanging out with us and listening each week. We've got our Spotify Wrapped here recently where it told us a little bit about our listeners and how many we've accumulated over this time. And I just want to say thanks. That's really rad. This is a joy of ours, a passion project. It's not like we're making any money yet. And we just like doing it. Thanks for being with us. Jared, what have you been up to this week, man?
I've been working like an absolute dog this week, dude. Last week was Thanksgiving, and it was great. We had a great time with family. We went out and visited. I don't even like calling them in-laws because they're not in-laws. They're family. They're much closer than that. They're awesome. Had a good time with them.
My mom says family in love.
Well, that's pretty gay if I said that. It's cute when your mom says it, but it would be very gay if I said that. So
it sounds a little too Alabama, if you ask me.
I think we were just talking about the Bill Maher's take on that.
Yeah, I was going to say something that's quote-unquote too Alabama is another word that I could think of. But, yeah, good Thanksgiving. Had a great time with family. And
yeah, dude.
Picked up the Pokemon trading card game on my phone.
Oh, boy.
Kind of been enjoying that. Okay. It's like kind of like collector heavy, like card collection first, and then there's like a small battling element that's actually pretty fun. And it imitates
I've been hearing a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's cool. So I got that. My brothers were playing it over Thanksgiving. They're like, oh, you got to get it. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I got that. I've been enjoying that a little bit. Been playing Halo 3 still on the Master Chief Collection. Keeping in mind also, I took about a 3-day hiatus from video games. We went out to where my family, where they live, which is not too remote, but it's remote enough where like I can't just pop back and grab stuff. And it's about like 45 minutes away, 50 minutes, depending on where you're at, an hour.
Right.
And I thought we were going to be there one day. We ended up being there like 4 days, and I didn't have my Steam Deck. I had like one change of clothes. So by the end of it, I was just stinky and just like hadn't played video games in a week, dude. I was a mess.
Normally you're stinky because you've been playing video games.
Well, right. And normally I'm stinky
because you've been separated from them.
Exactly. Or it's because I just hopped out of the bathroom to take a shower, and I want to optimize my day by wiping in the shower. Like some people in this universe do occasionally, but that's I'm just saying. So I was out there. I had a really good time, dude, and then got back on the Halo 3 train. Had a couple of vintage matches, maybe getting my old how Jared got his groove back. I'll give you a hint. It's not by having sex with men in Puerto Rico or whatever that other thing is. It's about me throwing enough grenades at walls on Halo 3 to figure out the geometries that I used to be pretty masterful with.
Dang.
Yeah. And then Marvel Rivals comes out tomorrow at the time of this recording, which is if you can do the math, conspiracy theorists that want to know when we record and when we actually upload. Yeah, dude. So it comes out tomorrow. I'm excited
I've been
about
looking
that.
forward to that one.
I have been looking forward to that. It's they've been building a lot of. There's something to be said about the investment that a company puts in something just based on how they advertise it, how they're marketing it. There's some games where you're like, I'm not even going to get into this because I know they're going to shut the servers down in like 4 months. This has got the full backing, the full faith and whatever of Disney, Marvel, Mega, the giant breast of Disney, Marvel to suckle at.
Yes.
So
yes, it's definitely going to have some staying power, if for no other reason that they're going to pump it up and inflate it into be this chat, cash cow.
yeah. Well, hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it doesn't suck and
Right.
it's not just a complete money grab. It doesn't look like it looks like it's going to be a fun game, and I'm excited to play that. Yeah,
Right.
That's pretty much been it. This week it's been full days. I come home, I work a little more. I skip some rope, dry fire my handgun, while I'm listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Dude,
fantasize
you are.
about-
That is excellent.
Dude, I'm on full country Tucson Catalina mode when I'm doing that kind of stuff. But it's good stuff,
dude.
man. Deg?
Well, had a good Thanksgiving break. Not picked up. I had bought Red Dead Redemption 2 a while back, and I decided to finally play it exclusively on the Steam Deck. And bought a few other games in the Steam fall sale, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I just do. Go on, please.
And,
Adult games, dude?
I picked up for
Did you do it?
way less money than you would expect. I picked up
Okay.
Hunter Call of the Wild for $1.
All right, dude. You brought that up.
I did actually buy that game. It was $1.
You brought it up a couple weeks ago, and I was like, somebody's shopping.
That's awesome.
I got Grand Theft Auto 5. I got Dark Souls 3.
Okay. Saw that one coming.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
Hogwarts Legacy. Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order.
Oh, both of them. Was there a bundle?
It was like $15.99 or something. It was crazy cheap.
Nice.
Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which was like $5. Actually, it was like $4.50.
My man.
And then the one game that I got that was significantly discounted, but still like not crazy cheap. I got Dragon's Dogma 2, which I'd been thinking about getting for a while, and so Alto was like a little over $100. It was like 8 games. It's like insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. So
That's a haul, dude. That's good stuff.
I'm never gonna play any of them. So
We'll say that.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
but I did play Red Dead Redemption 2, which I'll go ahead and do my bit right now, I guess, because I don't have a ton to say about it.
let me hear all about it. Yeah.
I like it. Like I said, I played exclusively on deck. It runs very well. The settings are automatically kind of turned down a little bit graphically,
Sure.
but very smooth. Obviously, it's
You feel like you're still playing a relatively modern game on the deck
Yes.
when it's kind of downgraded to deck quality. Is it still like, hey, it's all right to look at?
I can. There's definitely that like the suspension of disbelief isn't quite there like it would be if I was running it on my PC on max settings.
Sure.
There's a couple like the opening segment where you're in the mountains. There's a couple like snow-capped trees that I'm like that doesn't look very good, but.
Yeah, sort of flat. Okay.
But
Just
generally,
curious.
it looks very good. Runs.
Right.
I didn't have any, stuttering or anything, any frame rate big dips or anything in the 2 hours that I played.
That's the key on the deck, that frame rate.
I like it. The thing about Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm going to play more, is that there are 50 games just like it now in 2024, and in 2018 when it came out, there weren't any games like it. In terms of
What do you mean games that are like it in terms of it being open world and story driven, or like what do you mean?
Having 1,000 things that you can do, and there's so many layers and different ways you can play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a very very unique thing in 2018, right? Literally being able to get your beard trimmed and your hair cut, and like sort of the breath of the wildness of food, and all that stuff was in 2017, 2018. That was very novel. But now I've played 3 or 4 games where that's a thing. Does that make sense? And so,
yeah.
But I've only played the tutorial. I played the first, which that's my gripe. But my one gripe with the game, well, 2 gripes. One is that I thought the tutorial just took way too long. Like, I was like, okay, I don't want to be in the snow anymore, sitting on horseback, going as slow as humanly possible, reading and listening to people tell stories. It is one heck of a
prologue in there, yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of a drag. And then it feels a little slow in terms of the movement and just your ability to maneuver in general, but that may be the Steam Deck. I don't know. Or I may be, I don't know. It doesn't feel like super fast, twitchy, responsive like maybe I would like it to be. But forcing me to slow down might be a good thing too. So
yeah. The way I think I remember vaguely what you might be referring to, the speed of the animations and the way that it's I guess kind of floaty, right? Because there's a lot of character animations that are contextual, where like once you're close enough to your horse and you hit the button to mount your horse, he sort of like continues to walk into the correct position and then hop on, and then you get to start moving. It's pretty like organic and natural looking when you're looking at it, but all that immersion and the kind of the movie quality that they're going for with all the immersion does make it feel a little bit less like a video game sometimes, and a lot more like you're watching or playing through like a cutscene. I'll say this, dude, you have so much more ahead of you in terms of when the game really opens up. If you follow the critical path and just do the main story, or do side quests that seem like they have a benefit of some kind at the end, and if you only do stuff for the utility of doing it to get to the end of the game, you will have a pretty good time because the story does not suck. But I think the magic of Red Dead, and this is easy for me to say because when I got the game, we had just had our second child, and I was at home for 3 weeks, and I had all this time to kill. The magic of Red Dead is just taking your time and like living in, when you get to a new town, really living in it, and like go to the hotel and get a bath and talk to the lady at the desk, and then like go to sleep, and then wake up, and then go see a movie, go see a show at the theater in town, and go to the bar and play poker, and just like, LARP it up a little bit. Because if you do, you'll see sort of the little stuff that they've really tucked away to make it feel like it's a living environment, and I think that's part of the fun of that game. If you get to where you are in like an ADD space, go play something else for a little while to get that out of your system, because Red Dead at a slow pace is like magical to me. Again, suspension of disbelief is tricky on the Steam Deck. Maybe you should install it on your PC and take advantage of cloud saves and see what you think. I don't know. I don't know what your experience would, if that would change your, the way you receive the game. But I'm glad you're digging it, because there's a lot there, and I think you'll continue to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's my one gripe about the combat in relation to like the Steam Deck, is that because of the size of the screen, I feel like I'd probably have a lot more control over the outcome of combat just with a bigger screen,
yes,
in this game.
Yes.
And so I am excited to play it on a bigger screen, and I'm definitely going to do that, and hopefully it's enjoyable. What have you been up to, Jake?
Well, I have to chime in on the autumn sale there. I got a few things. So I picked up Hades, the first one, being on sale for like $10 was much better. I've been such a tight wad with my budget lately. I was like, $25, that's too much. $30, that's too much. And then $10. You talk about a good experience on a Steam Deck. That game rules. Super high frame rate. And just to save battery, I turned my frame rate limit down to 45, but it still looks just incredible. The art style of that game continues to impress me. All the hand drawn kind of stuff, and The voice acting and just the whole steez of it is so good. I haven't beaten it, but I've gotten to those of you that have played Hades before, you may know that there's like several kind of bosses on the way to the top as you're trying to escape the underworld, and I've gotten to the point where some of those bosses have changed, or there's been new characters introduced along the path. And I'm doing this thing where I'm trying just all the different weapons to see what sticks and just kind of enjoy the ride. I'm not trying to do it in freaking record time or nothing. I've actually not beaten it on the Switch either, because I have it on the Switch. I'm just taking my sweet time and enjoying all the mechanics in that game, because it's so just from the mental aspect of that game can be really fun to dig into. All the watch numbers go higher. Some of the builds are really cool that I've been able to put together. And then the other thing I got is Hogwarts Legacy.
There we go.
Like Deg mentioned. And I knew my wife would enjoy it, so I got it. And I sat down on the couch the following day with her, and I said, honey, I have an early Christmas present for you. And she was like, oh, boy, really? And I said, I'm going to turn you into a gamer. You're going to be dropping the gamer word. You're going to be scratching your nuts and drinking Mountain Dew. Before you know it, babe, it's Hogwarts Legacy. And I handed her the Steam Deck, and the title screen was up. And she was like, oh, cool, She was like, what are the controls? What do I do? Where's the start button? Huh? What? Huh? She just didn't know what to do. Because the last time that she played a game with kind of an Xbox style control scheme would have been, back in the day when we had a Wii U, and she might have played something while I was at work in Tucson. This was years ago. So she's digging it. I think she's played, I'm going to say 7 or 8 hours now, and she named her character, and is going through the story. I just sort of watched her play it for a couple hours, and she was really wowed by it. She's playing it on the lowest difficulty. There's hard, there's medium, there's easy, and there's story. She's on story, and she's still having an issue here and there where she gets scared by a freaking giant spider or something. And she's like, "Oh my God, Jake, come look at this! What do I do?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm not playing the game with you. I don't know. I decided I would not have my own save file or anything. I would just let her kind of go wild. So what's tricky is, word to the wise, if you're going to let your wife borrow your Steam Deck, create a Steam family, create their own Steam account, and have her log into her Steam account and then share games with you, because now there's the issue of I can't be logged in on my computer and playing a game on Steam at the same time that she's on my Steam Deck playing a game. And I feel like we could alleviate that if she had her own Steam account. She could log into my Steam Deck, I think, in her own account. But I was talking to a buddy at work, and he said something about, because it's in your library, only one person can be playing a game from your library at a time. I don't know how outdated this intel was. He was just telling me this earlier today at work. But anyway, we're going to work on it. We're going to find a way to make both happen at the same time. I just don't want her to have to start over, so we're going to work on that. There's a real cool thing that's happening with the Steam Deck where my wife is excited to finish doing the things we got to do, so that at the end of the day we can kick it, and I just love that. I think she was having a hard time occasionally finding motivation to engage in her hobbies, and now here's just a new little fun thing, and I really enjoy watching her get a kick out of a video game. So really digging that. Well, hey, fellas, now that we've been through that, let's talk about the finals for a second. Me and Jared need to open a can of whooping.
Yeah, never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Jared, I'm going to let you start, because there's this game called the Finals that we're madly in love with as of last week. But this week, I got to say, this episode, we might have a slightly different take on the Finals. How did you feel about our last play session last week, Jared?
Hold on. I need to drink a little pee before I do this. Give me a second. Hold on.
I just want to point out, before Jared says anything, I want to point out that the last time I played with you guys was one match before what you're about to talk about, probably.
Yes.
And
we had a great time while you were on.
Jake literally chastised me for logging off instead of keeping playing. So I just want to point this out, that until this moment, he was prepared to sacrifice me to the gods because I didn't want to play one more match. So go on.
And I'll preface whatever Jared's about to say by saying you're absolutely right. For some reason, when me and Jared and Deg were all playing the finals together, the matchmaking was reasonable. I don't think we had any runaway victories, but we were having a great time. And everything was just fine. We had good team comp. We were trying some stuff. We were communicating. It was great. Dad goes, hey, man, I got to go to bed. And I go, cool, man. Later. Jared, want to keep playing? And then we did.
Yes, we did. And to Deg's point, that did happen. I thought Jake went a little over the line. He brought Deg's mother into it. He said that he called him gay. And then
I probably did.
And they live in different states, but I have it on good authority that he put out a contract to have a bag of dog crap lit on fire and left on Dake's porch. That's all I'm saying.
I have no idea
That's
what
all
you're
I'm
talking
saying. Yeah, he denies all knowledge. It was a black op, but I have my intel. You have your intel. The finals is a great name for a game that I've played my final match on and uninstalled. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not that bad. We had an exceptionally bad night. I feel like we got matched with some dogs, but at the same time, a lot of my complaints are going to come down to weapon balancing and matchmaking. You know, it seems like we're getting into a lot of matches with people who queued up as 3. There was a lot of really solid teamwork going on from them. Stuff where we would make a good play, but it was 75% of the play we needed to make because that last 25%.
Yes, dude.
Especially in a game where, to its credit, plays can be made or broken off of small mistakes, and they can shift the balance of the match enormously. When
your team is made up of 3 dudes, there's no room for error because once you're down one guy, they have 133% of what you have.
Right.
Like it's a lot harder to keep up.
Right. And I think that we had a match, for instance, where we were like, we lost. And then by some strange series of events, we cashed one in, or I think we stole the cash out, and we're like, wait a minute, hold on, we can be in this, we can win this, and we went into
and that cash out was worth like $30,000 or something. Yeah,
right. It put us right over the edge as the match was ending, and we went into the Matrix for a second, and things were like falling into place. We're playing like really well for like seriously, it was like 15 seconds of like pure gamerness, and then I remember I got like I was down to a ball hair's worth of health, and I got clipped by like this one guy who I just killed 2 of his teammates, and then he kills me, reses both teammates, they steal, game over for us, and it was like extremely demoralizing. It was the type of thing that made us quit that night because it was such a momentum shift, and it was such a dump from like this roller coaster is like wow, and then we had hope, and then it was just like. And so I think that's what made it such a bad night is that like we have seen some success, and you know what? We're the Battered Wives Club, dude. We're the Battered Women's Shelter. We've been around the block. We can't seem to fall out of this cycle of abuse, dude. We cannot get out of this cycle of abuse. Every home that we go into, we get walloped. They don't even have to tell us twice to cook dinner. They are just beating our ass with no remorse, and we're going, what did we do wrong? What I thought we were thought we were being good wives, but
you didn't like the casserole.
Yeah, and I think we've just kind of had it with that abuse, dude, and that's one of the reasons I think I'm going back to these old games I used to enjoy. I'm Dota 2. I've been hooked on Dota 2 for like 6 months, and that's partially because it's a game I used to play. It's extremely solid.
Right.
It's very competitive. The meta is rock solid to a point where it's like they'll drop a patch, and the super hardcores are like, oh my gosh, Slark is a god in this patch. Are you kidding me? They have to. And it's like, you're not going to notice it, though. You're not going to notice it. It's a great game. Halo 3, fantastic game. I'm playing against guys who never stopped. I'm playing against guys who are playing with their uncle split screen. and it doesn't matter. It's still fun because the game is just rock solid. And some of these newer games, they're just I don't know. There's too much meta going on. There's way too much meta going on. You can't balance that. You can't balance all that. There's like a guy using tools in conjunction with weapons that Jake and I hadn't seen yet, and maybe that's cool. But for me,
the gravity well. Remember seeing that, and I was like, "Oh shoot! Somebody brought that to the party."
Right.
Are you for real right now?
One guy using the junk. What's his name? Junk. I played it so much Overwatch.
From Overwatch. Right. Is it Junk Hog? Road Dog? Road Hog?
It's Road Dog, dude.
What's his name? Roadhead?
It's Roadhog. It's Roadhog. But he's got a move where he grabs you with the thing and he pulls you in, and then
Raw Dog.
It's Raw Dog.
Raw Dog. That's going to be our call out next time we play the finals if that happens. I just got Raw Dog.
Getting Raw Dogged. But the guy was doing that. He had he was a heavy and he was grabbing us and pulling us in, and I think he was hitting me with a scythe. He was wearing a wedding dress. I'm like, what is going on in this game, dude? There's stuff like that.
He's got a scythe skin for his sledgehammer or whatever.
Dude, it's more Zoomer stuff. It's like TikTok the game.
Yeah.
Dude. Everything is TikTok the game.
Here's my take on all this crap, right? Like when it's the three of us, for some reason the matchmaking was better, and I kind of think that's the only way that I want to play is if the three of us want to do that and get that adrenaline dump, because it is a very fast-paced game. It's very frenetic. It's a lot of fun because of that. If the matchmaking is no good, if you get that buns map, Kyoto 4617 or whatever, there's this map.
This
that
Gary's
is just
mod map
abject.
Taken from another game, from a game that was made 8 years ago.
It sucks so bad. There's not nearly enough mobility options. It's like really flat and not cool to play on, at all. And so when you get that map and you get bad matchmaking, and in our case we had a rando third, and so our third teammate was like AFK and then doinking around and then this and then that and just not. Generally it's just immediately so bad so fast. And this meta thing, I think that's something that I'm pushing back against right now, because I'm tired of having to you need to have read the patch notes. You need to have played the game enough to see what works and what doesn't, and you got to know what the counters are to some of these strats that you're going to come up against. When somebody is road hogging me and I need to get in there up close and personal, but I've deliberately chosen as part of my team comp to be long range instead, I can't win. I have to pick one or the other. And so if I'm going to compete against this guy who's just a force to be reckoned with, I can no longer be the long-range combat specialist on my team comp like I wanted to be. So now my team needs to change and respond, to that. And you can only bring so much in your reserve. Like, how much can you really change? But I'll say this. The core game loop is still pretty sick. And, the good maps are super good. And the main game mode is really exciting, and I crave it the way that I crave any sort of dopamine hit sort of game. So whatever, there's that for now. There's some games that all the inconveniences associated with that game cancel out any dopamine I get from it. Right? That's where we got to with Siege. That's where I've gotten to with
paging
PUBG
Rainbow Six Siege.
Hello, paging Dr. Tom Clancy, rolling in his grave. I think there's
Tom Clancy. There's a penis word. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, dude.
I hate that guy
for sure.
Can you imagine Tom Clancy's face if he could see Mozzie Pizza skin?
Dude, he would be crestfallen.
Check out this tier 1 operator.
Yeah,
horrible, dude. I think. There's been a couple lines that have been crossed by the finals where I go, no, thank you, don't do that again, or I will uninstall you. I might install you next week, but I will uninstall you. Don't do it. And so it's strike one, I think, for me for the finals. So we'll see. I want to enjoy that game. I'll I want to get even, right? Don't get mad, get even. I want to upskill in that game just a hair. I want to get to where the three of us have, these roles. I want us to have like a plan A and plan B. I want to be good at that game. I think it'd be fun to be successful at that game, but it's no small task. It's tough. And so speaking of things that might make it better, I direct your attention to the season 5 notes that I have linked in the Google Doc. The curtain rises on season 5 of the finals this December 12th, 8 days from now. And this time, it's not just about new maps, modes, and mayhem. It's also a milestone celebrating one incredible year since the launch of the finals. For 4 seasons, we've been redefining what it means to compete in the world's greatest game show. Now it's time for the next stage. That's the name of the patch. Season 4 was a love letter to the community, bringing back the soul of ranked tournaments, launching the vibrant Fortune Stadium, which is actually a good map, and doubling down on everything that makes the finals unique. But as we look to the future, the next year will be packed with fresh surprises, innovative features, and brand new destinations. Without further ado, let's dive in. They are unveiling a new map called Bernal, Bernal. It's like what's that movie? We Don't Talk About Bruno. No. It's the Day of the Dead map. Okay, it's the Central America kind of Mayan, Aztec, Toltec thing. Is it Coco? Is that the movie I'm thinking of?
I think you're thinking of Apocalypto.
Apocalypto is such a good flick, dude. Oh, don't derail me by talking about Apocalypto.
Sorry.
I will go off.
Whoa.
That's one of my favorite movies. Cobblestone streets, sort of Spanish mission, colonial look. It looks cool. It's fine. It's very Tucson. Season 5 introduces 2 game-changing weapons that are sure to leave their mark. The Shak 50, that's SHAK, like AK 50, a heavy-hitting rifle for the heavy class that fires 2 bullets per shot, delivering immense stopping power with each pull of the trigger. I'm pretty sure that means like 2 side-by-side barrels, like simultaneous 2 bullets at the same time. 50 cal kind of thing. The Cerberus 12 gauge, a break action triple shotgun for the medium, loaded with incendiary shells that can set contestants and the environment ablaze. As if being lit on fire isn't a big enough problem yet in this game. 2 new powerful gadgets. The Gravity Vortex. This is the one I'm looking forward to the least. A deployable gadget for the light class with a remote trigger that creates a local singularity that pulls in everything around it, including objectives, players, and objects. Spoiler alert for Degless, there's an ability in Mass Effect 1 called Singularity that is super fun to use if you unlock it. And that's what this is, right? It's this like black hole thing that's like pulling stuff into it. That's going to be nuts. On the one hand, I applaud them for doing server-side destruction and having the infrastructure to support this. That's really rad. But dog, the light class gets to do that.
Of course,
some dude is he's gonna go, because this is a deployable gadget. This isn't a special ability, I don't think. It's like just an item that they can unlock and carry around. Some dude is gonna cloak with his katana and throwing knives or whatever, and he's going to run into the objective, and he's going to plant his singularity. It can be triggered remotely, so it doesn't start immediately. He can go frick off to the corner, wait for a whole team to come in and grab their butts into a singularity, and and now you're stuck, and he's going to get that MP5 out, and he's going to go, and his teammate's going to rocket launcher, and then he's going to imagine a light class who cloaked and trapped you in a gravity vortex, mag dumps an MP5 into your butt cheeks. His heavy class shoots an RPG and probably a grenade launcher in there for good measure. Oh, and the medium class has a new incendiary break action triple barrel shotgun. Like, that's going to be nuts. What am I supposed to do about that? You know? That's kind of crazy. The last one is a gadget for the heavy. It's called the Lock Bolt launcher. It shoots an anchor into the environment that captures and holds up to 3 targets. There you go, trapping the whole team again. Players are still able to move when anchored, but they won't get far. So it's more raw dog. It's more road hog. That's going to be kind of nutty. I don't know. So then there's some other stuff. There's going to be clubs, which I think is like a guild. There's going to be some new sponsor looks and cosmetics, and they look actually pretty sick. Looks very cyberpunk or something like that. Pretty futuristic. And there's some more modes that I don't really care about. They're adding some new features to Quick Cache, where they're going to introduce wave respawns to reduce long respawn times and keep teams together, as well as in-round loadout swapping, similar to the mode called Power Shift. I haven't played Power Shift. And then a meta overhaul. It says a significant balance update ensures fresh strategies and dynamic gameplay. It doesn't go into the details of that, but supposedly there's going to be a big change of like a bunch of balancing. So maybe that will compensate for all this wacky stuff they're doing before that. I don't know. They're also going to make it so that if you're playing on console, you can actually play at 120 frames per second if your TV supports it. So the console bros out there can enjoy a little faster frame rate. And I guess you weren't able to play on PS4 before, and now you'll be able to play on PS4. It's launching for a previous gen, which honestly, that's pretty sick. Because if you're one of these people that doesn't early adopt, or in this case late adopt, if you like skip a generation because you have a brain and you just don't want to do that, if you bought a PS4 Pro thinking it would be the last console you bought for a while and you just skip the PS5, well, now you can get in on this game, and I think that's nice. That's a smart move that doesn't suck. So next week, December 12th, the finals. What do we think? Is it interesting? We'll stick with it for a little longer, see what we think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll play a little more.
I kind of feel like Dag needs to save up his currency and get some of those new gadgets for the heavy and try this road.
The only thing I'm saving up my currency for is to buy the Gundam suit.
Dude, you're going to be waiting a long time. I think that's like premium paid stuff, bro. Oh. Which is whack, which is extremely whack, and I think that you should just buy it, bro.
I think
if they did it once, hopefully they'll do it again.
That would definitely justify us playing the game more.
Oh, yeah.
If Dag puts $20 into his skin, we have to play it for 6 months.
Dag's going to be like, you guys, come on, I bought this skin. We have to play.
Yeah,
He's always going to play heavy.
I want to use my Gundam skin. Dude, I think that we should do an entire podcast where we all throw our hunting vests on and watch Dag stream Hunter Call of the Wild, dude. We should all go on a hunt with Dag.
That would be sick. That's a great idea for a video feature. This winter, let's do it. Let's do it. We've crossed the 50 episode mark. It's time to doink around a little bit, as if we haven't already. That'd be sweet. I'll get a bright orange ball cap or beanie or something, and camo vest.
Yeah.
Put a good dip in. Jared and I'll be sitting in the tree stand with Douglas.
Yeah, I'll get my dad's double barrel shotgun and shoot my laptop and blow it up.
Also, this game is massive. Guess how much storage you need for the Hunter Call of the Wild.
I'm gonna say 193.
100 gigabytes.
Dang.
Oh my gosh.
I
assumed it was like, 30 or less. I don't know.
I thought it was gonna be like 12.
Nah, dude.
That's insane, dude.
Dang.
The fact that you just download most games now and they don't need to fit on like a DVD disc has, the file sizes are just like nutty.
Yeah. They're just wild.
I've got 50 episodes of a podcast on my drive, and I'm starting to feel the and some of the videos we've made and stuff. Like I have 2 hard drives on my computer, and one of them's already been full, and then the other one's starting to get full. And I'm like, God dang, I'm gonna have to put some of this on my backup.
Amazon had a pretty slick deal for an external SSD. It's like more than half off for this SSD that I got. Samsung too.
Yeah.
So I got. Well, my wife bought it for me for Christmas because I thought about it this week. Our business was very much reliant on certain files existing, and if something happened to those files, our business would be devastated. So I was like, I should probably get an external drive.
I should probably do something about that.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. You can think of something like that, dude. I don't know. Jake doesn't know very much about technology, so he needs me to come in here and tell him what peripherals to buy.
Yeah, I called Jared the other day, and he said, "Did you try turning it off or turning it back on?"
You must exactly turn it off and then turn it back on again. You must do it right now.
Jared's my tech support. I need it pretty badly.
Yes. You want to speak to my manager? Okay, let me send you over to my manager. Beep boop boop beep boop. Hello, this is the manager. Can I help you?
No.
Yeah. Oh, you were speaking to Steven?
Okay, anyway, hey, anybody stoked on the Delta Force game? Should we reattack that bad boy? Because that has released as of today. I'm not really trying to play it like right this second because I'm sure it's like, flooded having just released. But any impressions on that bad boy?
I didn't get to play it with you guys at the time, and I didn't know it released today. But did you guys ever see that movie Delta Farce with Larry the Cable Guy?
I did actually. It's so dumb.
That movie's freaking bad, dude.
It's
bad
like
movie.
horrible. Yeah.
It's like seriously like an hour and 27 minutes of Larry the Cable Guy just like farting and like saying Iraqi people's names wrong.
Yeah. Just shooting blanks the whole time.
Yeah.
Better cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Clint Eastwood showing up as a purple hair woke community college professor was an odd take for that movie, but they tried something new.
They tried something, dude. He directed it. He directed that movie where he had a threesome. It was like 4 years ago. He directed that movie and he has a threesome in it. He's like 97 years old.
Clint Eastwood did?
Yeah.
Are you joking right now?
No, I'm serious, bro. I don't think it was the mule.
You're really gonna make me Google
He's like,
Clint
what really
Eastwood
needs to happen in
right
this
now?
movie is I have a threesome with
Dude,
three
yeah.
19-year-old white women.
Right. Let me see. Clint Eastwood.
You said was it The Mule?
I don't know if it might have been the mule.
Macho. This guy's been in a couple of movies, you guys. Did you know that?
Apparently there are 2 threesomes in the mule. People talk about the 2 threesome scenes, but almost nobody's talking about the amount of butt shots at the Andy Garcia party scene. I think it is the mule.
Butt shots? He was in American Sniper as uncredited churchgoer. That's hilarious. That's wild.
Yeah, he has
guy.
threesomes. He has 2 threesomes. That's so awesome.
Imagine being, and he looks like a corpse, dude. Like he just
He
looks
really does.
pretty old. I know that he can afford the best sort of, medical care or whatever, and maybe he looks okay for his age. But like the way that you can just look that way and show up and be like, I've got an idea. I'd like to be in a threesome.
Yeah.
With those 2 ladies right there. It's like, what? He wants to. What? Okay.
This is a post on r/ movie details. In The Mule, 2018, 87-year-old actor Clint Eastwood sleeps with several women in their 20s. This is a subtle indication that he was also the director and producer. Oh, man.
Well, no, you won't get any recommend from me, Clint. I am the media. We are the Grass Touchers, and you will not get my recommendation. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of an episode. Episode 50, I gotta say, once again, thank you for being with us. Hope you tune in again next week for 51 and everyone after that. To be honest with you, I don't think you're going to lose anything. I think it's a great investment of your time. I hope that you find us on YouTube and Instagram at 3GrassTouchers. Stay tuned for some wild and wacky content that we might come up with, such as sitting in a virtual tree stand with our old pal Douglas as he plays Hunter Call of the Wild. Keep an eye out for me and Jared in cut-off jean shorts and camo hunting vests and bright orange beanies. I think that'll be a scene. That'll be really something. I think we should do that, fellas. Until next time, thanks again for listening, and don't forget, it is the name of the podcast after all. Get out there and touch some grass.